Hello, friends. I'm Smithy PI. This is the Mirai Fury LX, and welcome to Racing Potential. Insert intro here. Alrighty, sorry for the change of format on this one. The PU is currently being a bit funky with inventories, so Pad Smithy is in his underpants, and that is not really YouTube friendly, I don't think, these days. So we're doing it a bit different today. We're just in Arena Commander, we're taking a look. Also, new Arena Commander update. Hello. Fucking let's go. Alright, so today we're here to talk about the Mirai Fury LX. This is the new racing version of the Fury. Not a lot has changed in terms of like drawbacks and what have you. Ooh, return to simulation. It still doesn't quite have the atmospheric drag that you would expect from like any other racing ship. If you are racing in the PU, you are going to need to be able to transport this ship. That's kind of like a negligible drawback. It's not really like a negative. It's actually kind of cool. It fits in a Nomad. But some other things to think about with this one is that it is actually slower in a straight line than the base Fury, which is kind of a paradox because it actually has, from all I can tell, the same atmospheric drag profile as the original Fury, but it's also got more powerful engines. Like it has more acceleration. So by rights, it should be faster in atmosphere, but that's just where we are at the moment. So let's talk about some quirks with this ship. As I said before, atmospheric drag is kind of weird. It does more or less behave like you're flying in 0G. It is very quick, very snappy, but big changes from this one is that all of this drag allows you to do stuff that you couldn't do before in the base Fury without taking up a lot of space. It still does sort of have like a little bit of input lag, right? So it's really noticeable here when you're like stopped. You gently try and move. It seems to happen more on the PU, but basically how it works is that it has these sort of movie thrusters, which are cool. We all love these from the base Fury and things like the Car2Wall, but they take a second to move, right? They don't just sort of animate to like show what's happening. They're actually moving and giving you thrust in that direction. So there is a little bit of input lag involved, but like it's almost negligible. And the only reason I notice it is because it drives me nuts. But I like this a lot. I like it a lot more than the base Fury, specifically for racing. The base Fury is actually kind of cool for all of the other implications that's involved there, like being able to fit a little snub fighter in a full C2 without having to lose any cargo space is kind of hilarious. You have a built-in little snub escort, which is kind of neat. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about this one. So it's slower in a straight line. Its boost fuel burns through a lot faster.
Wrong direction.
Yes, I know, wrong direction. But it stops on a dime. The boost fuel does recharge a little bit faster than the base Fury, which is nice.
Direction.
And there's some fun quirks involved with the there's some fun quirks. Blah 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 blah. There are some fun quirks involved with how tricording and bicording and stuff interacts with this ship in atmosphere because there's virtually no drag. So if you look here, when I'm pushing forward, I think I cap out about 375, 380 unboosted. Get back into the simulation here. Alright, so now let's just do a little simple bicord here. So what we're going to do is we're going to aim towards the ground. I'm going to strafe up and push forward at the same time, trying to maintain somewhat level flight. And if you see here, I'm going up to like 500, 550. It's pretty quick. So you get a lot of benefit from bicording and tricording that you wouldn't get in the other ships. What else did I talk about with this one? Oh yeah, it's quite
Wrong
nimble
direction.
because it has more acceleration than the base Fury, and because you're not having to fight with you're not having to overcorrect for like the high speed. You actually are a lot more controllable. So the lack of aerodynamics is kind of okay, so long as you're on board with keeping everything going. So let's put it through a lap and see how it goes.
Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
I sort of stopped halfway through a lap, so I'm going to finish this lap, and then we're going to go into a brand new lap.
Checkpoint. Checkpoint.
It's also very small, so you can actually
Checkpoint.
sneak into places that you wouldn't really think to be able to sneak into them before.
Checkpoint.
And oh my god, the roll is so fast. It's so good. I quite enjoy this little ship. I'm very happy with it.
Checkpoint.
So you see here as I'm coming through these corners, I'm trying to sort of be on a 45. I'm boosting, strafing, and pulling up.
Checkpoint.
Just because that's the best way to do this ship. Alright, let's see how we do on an actual lap. Let's send it.
Checkpoint. 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 Checkpoint.
Oop.
Checkpoint.
Yeah, so the new G tolerances is something you're gonna have to pay attention to a lot with this ship.
Checkpoint.
They've reduced the amount of G tolerance the player character has. So you are going to be having to manage your Gs a lot more than you used to.
Checkpoint.
And it's something that shows up really high a lot with this ship, as it is just so fast. So let's do our little cheeky bicord thing here,
Checkpoint.
just to sneak in a little speed.
Checkpoint.
How's this lap going?
Checkpoint.
That's not bad.
Checkpoint. Lap complete.
What was that? Let's take a look. I'll take a 112. That's not bad. Yeah, so final thoughts on this thing. I really, really like this. A lot more than I thought I was going to like it. I was sort of expecting it to be just a faster Fury, but it turns out it's a slower Fury with more acceleration, and that's pretty neat. Also, it looks sweet. Look at these wings. Look at them. Look all aggressive and stuff. They're all use a lot of negative space, which is pretty cool. Got little blinky lights for some reason, like brake light bars and turn signals, but whatever. Spaceship, it's fine. It's cool. The view is pretty good. I'm not a huge fan of the MFDs up here because if you're doing lots of racing, you know that you're pitching and rolling and you're pitching and pulling up, and if you want to be able to survive a corner, you're going to need to be able to see, and this is in the way. It's got great view down here, so like landing is great, but yeah, it's got pretty good views. The negative space makes the wings that were in the way on the base Fury sort of less of an issue. It's almost kind of like having struts off to your side. If you're gonna be flying this ship, I really recommend getting FOIP set up and using like the head tracking with the FOIP, or getting like a Toby or something, just because you're really gonna want to take advantage of your sort of off-axis turning. You're gonna want to be able to see where you're going. That'll make this ship really fast. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed and found this information and ramble useful. Um, I really enjoy this ship. I think it's probably a really good ship to learn how to fly in if you want to get into racing but haven't gotten into racing before. I recommend you're gonna have an easier time learning how to fly this ship if you haven't flown another racing ship before in atmosphere, because it flies like nothing else. But yeah, speaking of learning how to fly and doing all that stuff, every Thursday night, Omega Aerosports runs track night. Come bring a ship. We'll go for a rip. You've flown, but you've watched the best. Now fly with the rest. Omega Aerosports. Anyways, have a good day, guys. Thanks. Bye.